do with your attire. And it doesn't have a thing to do with your PowerPoint slides. Has nothing to do with that. This is the lesson in one sentence. Remember to never read your slides or turn your back to the audience, and never read anything to the audience, slides or anything else. For starters, the audience can read a slide much faster than you can read it out loud. And more importantly, you want the audience to pay attention to the words you speak, which should be far more interesting, far more eloquent, delicious, thoughtful, red hot than anything you place on a PowerPoint slide or on a handout. Each slide should contain just enough information to highlight the major points and support what you have to say. I recall one time I attended a workshop and the facilitator stood at the front of the room and read material verbatim from the handout that had been provided. I wanted to scream. I walked away from that workshop having learned nothing I could not have read on my own. When a presenter looks up at the projection screen to reference the material or to maybe read it to the audience as opposed to looking at his laptop or his computer, whatever, it's akin to the teacher constantly looking over a student's shoulder to reference the textbook while lecturing instead of the teacher just using his own textbook. And if that kept happening over and over again, you keep looking at that projection screen, keep looking at the textbook, the student would eventually say, or maybe want to say, don't you already have your own textbook? Stop looking at mine. Or it's similar, let's say, to a car salesperson who gives you a brochure and then constantly wants to look at the one he gave you and turn the pages in it instead of using his own brochure to reference and discuss the car with you, or better yet, already knowing his material well enough so he doesn't have to look at a brochure at all. But you're getting my point. When you turn to read the slides from the projection, or when you constantly reference them, you keep looking back at them, and you've seen people do it, the audience is subconsciously thinking, why are you looking at that? That's for my eyes. That's for me. That's for my viewing pleasure. Now, try your very best to avoid looking at the slides that are projected on the screen when you present. And never, ever, ever address your audience with your back to it. And that's what you're doing when you do that. Never do that. Now, you'll notice I said try your very best because it's completely natural to catch yourself glimpsing at the projection. You're probably double checking to see is the right thing up there, or I don't know, it's just something subconscious that we do. What I want you to do instead is you're going to arrive at your workshop space in plenty of time to check the audio visual and check all of the technology. What I want you to do instead, because you know what's up there is up there and it's correct, position your laptop or your computer so you can easily look at its screen throughout the presentation. If there's ever a question as to what's being projected, look at your laptop. If you need to refresh your memory, look at your laptop. And then what's projected on the screen is the same thing that's on your laptop. What you're seeing on your laptop is the same thing that the audience sees. And I recommend putting your presentation in presenter mode or presenter view. Different software call it different things. When you do that, you can see your notes along with your slides, while the audience sees only the slides and not your notes. And if nothing else, have your notes printed out or have them written on note cards, what have you. You know how it goes, old school. Have it right there in your presentation area with your materials so they are easily accessible. The bottom line is the projected slides are for the audience's benefit, not the presenters. As such, for a polished, professional look to your delivery, you glance at your laptop or your computer screen when you need to reference the material on which you are presenting, not the projected slides. Thanks for tuning in. Bridget McGowan with BMAC Talks. I'll see you next time.